Uzi is a fashion icon.
Uzi is a fucking movement in culture.
So you know it's gonna be fire.
I don't even know what she said, cause she foreign. Yeah, she foreign. And she got it done. Like the way she formed. And she gon' perform it. Look the same in morning. She don't stop, keep going. I don't even know what she said, but this what I hear in my head.
Il n'est pas fou, il aime ses doux, il la voit partout, il attend debout, une rose à la main, non, quand plus rien ne le tient. Dans ses love stories, dans ses love stories, dans ses love stories.
Okay, I really do get I'm making a day. What they make in a life. Is it cause that I'm paid? You tryna stay the night. You keep rubbing on my face. Make me feel I'm your type. I guess that we on the same page. Cause I'm just tryna shy. I really do get I'm making a day. What they make in a life. Is it cause that I'm paid? You tryna stay the night. You keep rubbing on my face. Make me feel I'm your type. I guess that we on the same page.
Good evening. I am Wonky and welcome to my world. Hello, Miss Views of You. Nice to see you here. Oh, I hope you guys had a good day. It's the end of the week for me. It's been a long periodical of week. It's been draining. Miss View. I know. Now, I know there's one particular thing you do not miss about corporate America. Now, I know you've been in many environments and seen a lot, but I know whether it's corporate, whether it's nonprofit, whether it's a large sector, whether it's a small sector, whether it's a corporation, whether it's a mom and dad shop, I know you do not miss this one attribute. Should I take a poll? Can anybody tell me what that attribute is? Miss View, I know you do not miss the fucking bullshit that these people will come up with and spill and vomit on you in goddamn board meetings. Scratch that. Not board meetings. I meant to say board motherfucking rooms. Conference rooms. I tell you, I feel like I get the lies, the garbage, and the trash. And Miss View says, and throwing one under the bus. Not only that, Miss View, leaders that can't fucking lead themselves to a goddamn tissue paper to wipe their own ass. C-level executives where the C shouldn't stand for chief. It should stand for cunt. This view says staff meetings in conference rooms. Staff meetings, and staff meetings where minutes, where hours get lost and minutes get created. Ms. View says, deadlines are my pet peeves. Misspelled deadlines and lie. Missed deadlines and lies. Not only that, it's right now I'm on the strict NDA. I am on the strict NDA, but just you wait, because I feel, all my life I've had to fight, and all my life I've also protected the bag, Miss View. And I also, I'm strong enough and smart enough to know that I did not know what I did not know. You know what I'm saying? Miss View says, I count the money, and if they say they sent the approval to me to get paid, I am like, no, you did not. Right? No, the best thing is that when they say, oh, it's still in accounting. No, it is not even in accounting because you haven't even submitted the form that requires not one, but two. And if you add your own, that will be 3 signatures for me to even entertain you. You know, it's one day I'm gonna sit down and maybe I'm gonna just write a compilation of all the shit I've seen. There was a period of time, Miss View, when I was getting out of high school and going into, I guess, college, and I was just this young, vibrant, they ain't no shit thing, right? But thought I was gonna have it all and build it all. Drop a bomb on that. I've always had an entrepreneurship spirit, honey, in me. It was, you know how some people get the Jezebel spirit, Miss View? I had the entrepreneurship spirit on me, place upon me. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to shake something. And so at, 17, when I went into college, I felt like, oh my God, I'm falling behind. I'm never going to accomplish because everybody's going. And, I was doing my thing and I was working in professional environments and seeing things and not knowing nothing. I didn't know nothing, right? And then sometimes some people will say you took yourself too seriously. I never say that about my own actions and how I carried myself. I think that I carried myself just right. Just right. Now, did I know everything? No. Did I feel like I was going to be the next hot thing? Well, baby, I was the next hot thing. Not did I think. I know I was. I recently had a mother who thought I was going to sit there and take it, say to me that I thought really highly of myself. I said, I absolutely motherfucking do. Absolutely. Okay? It starts from within. It starts from motherfucking within. And then you can see my 2-page resume. And no, it's not 2 pages because it reads like a restaurant menu because of all the hopping around. No, it's 2 pages because of all the goddamn projects and huge multi-million-dollar budgets that I've dealt with. One day I shall sit down and take the pen to the paper and finally speak, because just like I said back in the day, I didn't know nothing and I knew I didn't know nothing. Now I know shit, and now I feel more calm, like I know shit and I can okay, Anyway, I just needed to get that out there because it's been a roller coaster of emotions, Miss View. You get in these environments where mental illness is just running crazy. I think these motherfucking crazy bitches leave their home instead of staying home, highly medicated, instead of going to their program. No, they go maybe through the program, go out into the world. You and me type of program that they place them over there, and you gotta supervise them. You gotta rub elbows with them. You get supervised by them. They're part of a board. They're all these motherfucking people that need to be highly motherfucking medicated. I just needed to get that out there because I cannot give you the performance tonight if I don't get that. That would have been my warm-up. That would be me in my dressing room screaming at the wall, just trying to get it all out before I pick up whatever's on this page. You know what I'm saying? You got to let it out. Okay? So... lips, teeth, tip of the tongue, lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. 999 nuns interning in a Indiana nunnery naked. Why? Because they're creeps. And Sally sold seashells at the Jersey Shore. She was selling pussy in the bag too. I had sex with my boyfriend while he was in a coma. It was very satisfying. I share this here, HEAR, because someone will say that it's weird to perform sex acts on a partner who is in a coma. You can question the morality, but my boyfriend told me he doesn't mind what I did while he was in a coma. His view is the lack of melanation for me. 1 year ago, my boyfriend had an accident at a pool. He hit his neck and head when jumping to the pool. The results on him, that resulted on him breaking his spine, and having a head injury. He was in a coma for 6 weeks, intubated. Doctors told me that because of what my boyfriend had suffered, he'd never be able to walk again, and that he'd be in a coma for some time because of the impact of hitting his head. I was sad seeing my boyfriend injured. I cried thinking I had lost my boyfriend. I visited to the hospital every day he was in a coma. I didn't miss a single day visiting him. Those days, I'd cry next to my boyfriend's bed, and I'd kiss him, telling him I loved him. After 3 weeks of him being in a coma, I became desperate. I was scared he'd never wake up. I wanted to be intimate with my boyfriend. So in a moment I had in his room alone with him, I did sexual acts on him while he was intubated. I placed my breast on his face and touched his penis, trying to get inside me, but his penis couldn't get erect. I got on top of him and I satisfied myself. I was hoping he could feel my body. For the next days, he was in a coma. I got intimate with him whenever I was alone whenever I was alone with him in his room, doing sexual acts to him while he was in a coma, feeling amazing. Girl, this is actually sexual assault. This is assault, girl. I have to admit, I actually felt very aroused, touching him while he was sleeping. Like I knew he was inside his own mind wanting to see me, but he couldn't. When my boyfriend finally woke, I kissed him and hugged him more than ever. He was told about his condition by the doctors, that he be a quadriplegic, quadriplegic. For the rest of his life, and he cried hearing those news. That's what he wrote. That's what she wrote. And he cried hearing those, THOSE, news, a plural, because it was more than one news. You know, the fact that he was, SA'd, and then the fact that he's also a quadriplegic. He also lost his ability to speak after the accident. Now he communicates with blinks to point at letters. My God. Oof. Please, God have some mercy on that man. It's been a year now, and my boyfriend is still getting used to his disability. Sex has also changed a lot for us. Gee, you think, girl? I also told him about what I did while he was in a coma, and he says It sucks. He doesn't remember anything of the intimate moments I'd had with him while he was in a coma. Okay, the drinking game word for the drinking game today is coma, obviously, because she just keeps mentioning it every other line. I love my boyfriend. He's my whole world. I'm glad he's still alive. I'm planning on marrying him soon. Somebody says, others have already stated the obvious about, hold on. Others have already stated the obvious about the pose, but I'll add that bouncing on someone in the hospital with a spinal injury doesn't seem ideal. Somebody says, maybe that's why he's so quadriplegic now. Somebody says, you can question the morality, but my boyfriend told me he doesn't. Oh, no, she's responding. Oh, she's in here getting back at people. She is in here telling her feelings. You should be in a motherfucking registry, bitch. You should be registered and having to go to group meetings and have to stay away from them parks, stay off them playgrounds. She comes back to say, you can question the morality, but my boyfriend told me he doesn't mind what I did while he was in a coma. I told you, coma is the word. Somebody says, this sounds fake as hell. My daughter was in a coma for 5 days before she unalived. She was constantly being monitored by the ICU staff. There was little to no privacy in that room, which is exactly why I doubt this is real. But on the crazy off chance it is, this is fucking despicable. Seek help because it is predatory. Either way, fake or not, what the hell is wrong with you? Absolutely. Somebody says, this is so psychotic. Somebody says, damn, ain't this a confession? Let's see. Boyfriend in a coma. I know, it's serious. I really hope he pulls through. Somebody says, and then I'm going to give my 50 cents on the whole story. Somebody says, I'm not sure where this is from, but I'm in Australia. If he is intubated, he is considered an ICU patient and will be on 24/7 1-to-1 monitoring by a nurse trained to look after intubated patients, like a critical care registered nurse in case something goes wrong with the ventilator or if he desaturates or so on and forth. You wouldn't get any alone time, let alone enough to do all this bullshit karma farming. I agree. And I know that ICU patients usually are put in like their rooms are not closed off. A lot of times now they actually have a camera or robot pointed at the camera, and at the nurse's station they're seeing everybody's feed so that they can look at more than one person at the same time. So I call this bullshit on that. I call this also creepy as hell, the fact that this is a story that they put together. If they put this story together, if like the other person said, if the off chance that this is real, this bitch needs to be registered and needs to not be within 3 miles of the nearest school. Okay? Whether when he woke up, like he says he liked it or not, he could not consent. All right? He could not consent. And so he was assaulted. He was essentially assaulted. Girlfriend or not, he was assaulted constantly. There's absolutely no excuse for doing any of that bullshit. There's no, even if it was a husband and wife, no, there was no consent giving. So this was definitely an assault. This was an assault. But like a lot of my other posters have said, It's very unlikely that this is true because to be in an ICU, Miss View, right? To be in an ICU setting, you are constantly in an ICU. I think they come and check up on you several times an hour. They have to come in several times an hour. They're coming in, looking at things, taking measurements, taking like all of that. And if you're in a ventilator, I would assume that they're giving you even more attention because they want to make sure that thing doesn't stop working at some point or whatever. So I call this bullshit. You know, they can't all be hits. And I really want it to be bullshit because if not, this is really sick. Absolutely sick. Ms. View agrees with me and says, I think it is made up. I just left an ICU setting an hour ago. Exactly, Ms. View. And so you see there's always a transit coming in and out. Well, did I tell you? There are cameras and so many folks around. Exactly. I think they really, the nurses, they really give you like the care. I think it might be even like 1 or 2 patients per one nurse. Like the volume of nurses is more. You know, they're coming in and out. And like you said, and I've seen, they have like a camera pointed right at the person, with a live feed to the nurses station, because they have to see that, you know, and they controlling, they're looking all the stats and all of that. Yeah, this bitch wasn't in there by herself doing all of that. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who came through. I want to thank you for listening to my early rant. Trust me, believe you me, one day I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk about it all. This week has been a wild one. I got a nice, fun story time, a salacious story time in the near future. Anyway, I do this every night. Every night I do this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. Miss View, get home safe. I know you said you just left an ICU setting an hour ago. Get home safe. I took a nice little shower before I came to do the show. I'm gonna now drift off because I am tired. I need to get some rest. Make sure y'all get y'all rest and stay hydrated. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.